I think the most likely situation of an actual like meaningful issue would be something gets disrupted horribly in the supply chain to where it's limiting the delivery of food to places, because then that's when people get crazy. Some sort of power grid failure or EMP type situation. I think if we're going to get attacked kinetically, I think it would be that way versus a nuke being dropped. That's my gut. And so with those two things, our mind, when we play out the scenario of like, well, what do you think would happen? Well, I see it in our like the street level, or like our we live in a really small town outside of Nashville. So it's very clear there's one road, essentially in and out of town. It's like the main road. So as I imagine, I'd be like, yeah, we as a community of this small town would likely come together, block the road off or whatever, and work with resources and share and build community within our space of the people who geographically reside here. It's like, I think that's the most likely thing to happen. That's how we saw it. And we said, okay, well, what can we do to be reasonably prepared for today and right now? And, so, we join all the groups too about the homesteading, and we have timelines, and we think about it a lot. But we don't think about it in a like maniac, stressed out. It's more of a hobby we pick up and drop from time to time.
Right.
Oh, you want to do the greenhouse? You want to build a greenhouse this weekend? Yeah, we could do that. Or you want to dig a well next month or something? Like what of the 20 different things that we could want to do should we do? And I think it's an important part of at least American culture, if not men. I think it's a manly thing to want to be prepared for and to protect and to provide for your family, and to move towards that at a reasonable pace, and not frantically all at once spending your life savings trying to build a forever shelter under your property or whatever. I think that's just a part of the experience. Also, to sort of wrap up, I get a lot of peace by just putting God first. Like, obviously we're going to get punched in the face at some point. It's happened before. It'll happen again. I don't know when, but what I do know is that I'll respond to it, and I'll try to be the best version of myself when responding to it. As you said, I am typically the best version of myself when I'm responding to some form of challenge.
Yeah. I love that idea. I mean, if you go out there and you feel like, not from a perspective of greed, but look, I like to be independent. That's my mindset. That's who I am as a person. And so my property has the ability to support a well. I'll have a well put in. Why not? And then I can irrigate how I want. I can do how I want. But I also now have plenty to give my neighbor should there be a circumstance that I need to share with my neighbor. I like to have a plot of land so I can have the healthiest, freshest, direct to table, environmentally friendly, like in all these things. I think where we get tripped up is either one of two things. We either say, there won't be a consequence that will happen to me. Godzilla won't show up. Godzilla always shows up. There will be some point, some way, somewhere. I don't think you live your life in fear, to your point earlier, but there is, who knows what the disruptions are. Again, I don't think you run around foolishly and in a greedy, selfish way. By selfish, I don't mean just share with anybody. I just mean there's be purposeful. It's the long-term investments over time that are allow you to live today while growing value for yourself and your the people that are going to inherit things from you. But the second part of it is, so that's do nothing, is to just be so insular and so isolated. Neither of those things, I think, are the purpose of God. I think we are created. My personal philosophy is I'm created to live out the life that's the opportunities in front of me. And as I get plenty, I don't think God has a problem with us paying ourselves and rewarding ourselves. But when it's always for ourselves, it becomes then we take a good thing and we turn it into a bad thing. You're able to leverage your talent, whatever your talents are, to employ people or to create whatever around you. You leverage it first for yourself and your family, and then the community around you. And if we can spend time doing that, we are, I think, the best, most beautiful version of ourselves and our community. And that will withstand Godzilla, AI taking over the world, mass layoffs, whatever it is. We've been through circumstances before. And as long as we have that attitude and that kind of a community, I don't think there's anything stopping us.